Lady Lily, I'm back with another video. I know you see a different view. My tree is still up. I just shooting from a different direction in my living room, but I am slowly taking my decorations down, and hopefully everything will be down and put up by the end of New Year's Day. So anyway, I'm back with another video. I had my last car talk, so I guess this will be my last home talk of 2017, but I just wanted to check back in for a couple of things. I want to first had to bring up the bad news, so want to say rest in peace to Amanda Davis. She was a well-known Atlanta reporter. She passed away, I want to say, was it a week ago? Her stepfather had died, and she was on her way to San Antonio to be, by the family side, and she ended up suffering a massive stroke at the Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport. She was rushed to the hospital, and unfortunately she passed away. I believe she was the age of 62. She was a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She was also an alumni of Clark Atlanta University. It was definitely a devastating loss to the news community, as she was seen to be a pretty healthy and active woman. So it was definitely a loss. She is leaving behind her mother, her daughter, and a lot of host of family members, associates, colleagues, and sorors. So her funeral is set to take place next week. I believe they're doing a public viewing in Atlanta January 2nd, and the funeral is going to be held January 3rd. So my definitely prayers and condolences goes out to their family. It just seemed like it just hurts, it hurts that a lot of people pass away during the holiday season. My great aunt passed away. She passed away the day before Christmas Eve. So she passed away. She had been sick for a while. We thought she was going to hang on through the holidays, and yeah, she made her transition. So her funeral is going to be set for next Friday. So it's just rough. This is the third death in our family this year. So 2017 has been been filled with quite a bit of family losses. I told everybody it was kind of difficult going to 3 funerals in a week and a half, and I'm gonna get ready to go to another funeral. And plus we had some church members that passed away that were pillars in our church. So yeah, it's just 2017. Yeah, I haven't been to this many funerals, and I'm trying not to be at that many funerals. So it's just, so pray, I'm just want to let my cousins and families know that, I'm praying with you. I'm hurt. And Louise was a phenomenal lady. She was a singer. She sung in our choir. And I just remember, like, some of my memories from her was just like riding to church, because my uncle will often pick me up on a church van and take me to church, because my mom would work and my dad and brother wasn't going to church. So he'll come pick me up in the church van, and he will pick her up. Or I just have memories of taking her home and dropping her off. Me and my mom was dropping her off from church, and she always talking about she was singing when she was a little girl and all that stuff, and she loved to sing in the choir, and she did until her health failed. So that's just my memories of her. So we thank God for the memories, and we just know that she's no longer suffering. So I was not planning to talk about this, but I'm gonna go ahead because it's just been popping on the social media everywhere. So you guys, they put up, Kay Jewelers had a sale where they were offering diamond necklaces and diamond rings for $24.99. and the ring advertisement had went viral, and it's been a lot of people buzzing. It was because there was a lot of engagements. A lot of engagements take place, during, the holiday seasons, from Thanksgiving all the way up to New Year's. You see a ton of engagements. So there was, talk about, a lot of people got engaged. I bet you it was with them $24.99 rings, or would you accept the ring for $24.99? Then there was a lot of people buying. So, oh no, if he can't afford a better ring, we can't get married, because that means he can't afford me. And then there was some people who was like, well, if he got the latest iPhone and the expensive Jordans and driving expensive ride, he can afford the ring. Then some people were saying, like, it doesn't matter. All it matters is his love and his support. Maybe that's all he can afford. We can't get in people's pockets. So it's been like an ongoing battle. There's been men taken to ways, talking about the women are bitter. All the women talking about who won't accept their ring, they don't have. These are all the women who won't accept their ring, they don't have a man right now. And then there was people that were saying, we got people out there that got those most expensive rings, but their husband or their husband, fiance cheating on them constantly all across the city. So here's my take on the whole thing. Who cares how much the ring costs? Who cares? It's not, if it ain't your finger, whatever, who cares? If that's all that man can afford at that time, so be it. If his love and his support and encouragement is gonna outweigh the cost of the ring, so be it. That's my thing. So anyway, I just want to share, like, I was in Pandora a week ago. Yeah, a week to this day, because today is Saturday. So I was in Pandora a week ago, and the line was long as hell. And when you're in the line, you start talking to people, and you make short-term friends for that moment. So I was in the line with this guy, and he was telling myself and another lady how he had just got married. They got married with no ring, but they had just bought a house, and his wife gave birth to their son 2 months ago. So, they did the city hall thing or whatever. He said they really took all their resources and put it into their new 4-bedroom home. So he said he did want to have something. They got married without a ring, but he said he did want to give her something. So he had ended up, going to Pandora, and he was going to surprise her with a ring. Those who are regular Pandora goers like myself, those rings can range anywhere from like as low as $35, and you might have $100+ of rings. So he was just asking, delaying our advice, because he was looking in the book and all that type of stuff. But I really applaud him, because his priority was to make sure that him and his wife and child was in this 4-bedroom house. He said they agreed they're gonna, got the money for the down payment, got furniture and doing all this and stuff. And, building homes and decorating, that takes time. So that's not a rush. That's what the older lady was telling him, don't feel like you have to rush to fill the house up, because, as long as you got your necessaries, like your bed, your couch, your dresser, a table to eat at the kitchen. She was just telling him, don't feel like there's a rush to hurry up and decorate the house. Make sure you got a, if the baby room got a crib and all that stuff. So she was just telling him, as long as you got the bare necessities, artwork and all this stuff, it will come, slowly over time. But he was just we was looking, looking at the books, because they gave us books while you wait. And, we was just talking and whatnot. And he was like, well, what do you think, considering the situation, would you wear this? And, I was like, I'll just be honored that you thought about it through all this, during this time, which was pretty busy, because they got a newborn baby, and they closed on a home and moved in. So I would just be honored the fact that you even took the time out to think of me during that time, in the midst of all the other life priorities we have going on. So he ended up buying her a ring that was towards the higher price, and he said I'm gonna upgrade her at a later date. So that's awesome. I applaud him, I really do, because sometimes in life we're too materialistic, and I say I might be a little bit too. But in life, we are too materialistic. We'll go broke, be in financial ruins to look good, to say we got this and we got that. And there is a lot of people out here who have been married, like the wedding was years ago, and they're still financing and paying on rings. And I remember I watched this show called, is it Life or Debt? And there was a couple that was, their house was in foreclosure. And the guy was struggling, he got her this real elaborate wedding ring. And here he's struggling to pay it. He would have to pay like $300 a month or something. He was having to pay $350 a month for this ring. And that number might not be the right, but just give me the idea. So he had to pay like that amount of money. And the guy from Life and Debt said, well, you could be taking that money and using this towards saving the mortgage on your home. So it's just situations like that where it's like, okay, you went and got this woman this elaborate ring, but your house is about to be taken away from you. So, and they still wanted to have like an engagement party and all this stuff. And he was like challenging them. He gave them a small budget, said you can have this engagement party for $200 or less. So they had to come up and be creative and all that stuff. They did eventually have to move out that house. They was renting a house and trying to show like they were still living in this foreclosed home or whatnot or whatever. But that was a situation, goes to show you right there. While we're out here buying, I mean, the ring was off the chain, don't get me wrong, but if your house is falling under, you still go, get the most expensive ring. So that was my thing. And then I went on to share this. It's like, you can have a nice ring for affordable prices. And I know, because I stop around. Kohl's is one of my stores. Kohl's has some nice rings. They have some nice rings. I mean, even like Kmart, they closed the Kmart that was not too far away that I used to go to. They had some nice wedding rings, and they had blowout prices. So if somebody was getting married or wanted to propose, that would have been time to go over to Kmart and get some of those $3,000 rings that were now down to like $300. And I remember I was at one store, I can't remember the store, where I seen an entire wedding band set. It was the bride and the groom ring, and the whole set, everything all together was $500, and it was originally priced for $5,000. So, you got a $5,000 product for $500. And I mean, some people say, well, if you research and you take your time, see, the thing about men don't shop. See, men don't shop and look for sales like women would do. But if you really research and take your time and look for the sales and stuff, because there's sales on jewelry throughout the year, throughout the year. You can find different blowout sales and stuff. But if you research and take your time, you could have an affordable ring that looks good. You can have a nice ring that looks good. So, it doesn't take all that. And I'm like, why get a $10,000 ring if you can't afford it? I'm just saying. Yeah. And plus, I tell everybody, I always share this on Facebook, and I'll share this with you guys. My parents got married with 2 gold bands. They woke up one morning. It so happened it to been Valentine's Day. They went, got 2 gold bands, went down to City Hall and said, I was already 2 years old. So, I mean, yeah. And people always say, well, Lisa, don't you want a nice ring? I do. But I don't want him to go damn near broke to get it. I don't want him to skip a bill to get it. I don't want him to miss a mortgage to get it. I don't want him, not being able to survive for a month to get it. So, no. And my only thing is, I know that sometimes people will propose with, great-grandmother's rings, aunt's rings, or whoever rings. My only fear about that is I just do not want to get a hold of one of those rings and somebody got divorced wearing that ring. I don't know. I just feel like there's some type of karma there, karma lingering. So I wouldn't want that to be, I wouldn't want to put that ring on if somebody wore that ring previously and got divorced. So that's my only thing is, you know, I'm open to the family heirlooms, but it's like, ooh, somebody got divorced wearing that ring? I don't want to do it. So, but like I said, there are affordable rings out there. You just got to do the research. So yeah, you know, everybody's trying to stunt front. It's a competition. Competition with who? What you're stunning and what you need to stunt in front is the unconditional love that you're giving to your mate. That's what you're doing. And then, I mean, a lot of these people getting engaged now, it's like the younger people. They're fresh out of undergrad. They haven't been on their jobs long, or hell, they might still be in undergrad and they don't really have their career jumping off yet. So, I mean, that could work for them because they're younger. They're a little less established. But yeah, so don't knock the ring. That's all I say. Don't knock the ring. You just never know. You never know what your situation could be. You know, he can go out and buy the most expensive ring today, and then next week somebody done lost a job. So you got to keep in mind stuff like that. I mean, we wish for nothing like that, but it's just life. Sometimes things happen, or you might end up losing your job, and he was depending on your income as well to survive. So we just have to bring it all to perspective. But that is it. That is all. Stay tuned for more videos. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day. Happy New Year.